Alright, everybody, welcome back. Glad you all decided to join me again. And to start out this particular video, I'm actually going to show you what button actually shows the tooltips. Just press select on any item or option and it'll tell you what the item is or what the option does. Now, I'm going to show you real quick how to create your own unit. As you can see, I've disbanded most of my units and created some new ones, but I'm going to show you how to make a water unit. Alright, I'll put this wizard in. As a rule, wizards always go in the back. And we'll stick Mr. Octopus here, and because he's a large unit, that will make this unit a water unit, which will make it move fast through water, naturally. And there we go. Now I'll show you the changing class and stuff later on when it actually becomes relevant. But now, right now, I'm going to go through as many of these units as I can and tell you what they do. Okay, the fighters are the basic male unit, which allow you to, and they can promote into everything else in the game that is male human related, such as knights, wizards, beastmen, wildmen, you name it. Knights here are basically the noble fighting man with a high enough alignment and statistics. They can promote themselves into paladins. I'll go into a little more detail about what the statistical requirements are later. Samurais are another mostly good fighting unit that tend to be a little more advanced than knights. However, I don't put too much stock into using them, just because they're not really that much better than knights. And although the Ianuki special attack is quite powerful, it also drains a portion of their own HP, and you can only use it once per battle. Amazons are the basic female unit, which can promote into things like clerics, witches, valkyries, things like that. Okay, beastmen here are whip-wielding, neutral-type characters who give special powers to beasts. And by special powers, I just mean to give them a little statistical upgrade in battle every time that they go into battle with a beast in there, such as hellhounds or griffins. Wizards naturally are spellcasters. Not really much more to say about that. They can end up promoting into mages, and with special items, they can end up becoming sorcerers and eventually liches. Octopi can turn into kraken with the right statistical requirements. They also have a shitload of attacks in battle, but they're pretty much only best in water. Griffins are a good unit because they have the high sky trait, movement here, which allows them to basically move very quickly through any type of terrain that they will wish. Their attacks aren't that powerful for large-scale units, but the movement range tends to make up for their shortfalls. Clerics here are essential. They are your only healers at the start of the game, and they will be your only healers for much of the game as well. They require higher alignments to progress in their promotional tracks from shamans to monks. Monks can actually heal the entire unit twice in a battle, so we really want to shoot for those. The Hellhounds here are rather powerful large-scale units. They have 3 attacks in front and brief fire twice from the back. They tend to work best with a Beastmaster in their ranks, but they'll work just as well alone, but as well. Valkyries are neutral. Generally speaking, they're rather neutral, but high alignment tends to serve them all as well. They move best through the forest, oddly enough, and they cast lightning twice from the back, and give a couple of chops from the front. But generally, they work best from the back. with fighter or knight support in front. Okay, folks. It's time to move on to our first real battle of the game. And I think we just had a bit of a performance tick up there. Okay, so you hit the X button and we'll hit deploy unit. And we're going to start deploying some of our guys. Starting with Lonzo here, and we'll send him over here to liberate this place. This is the first battle where we're actually going to have enemies start attacking us aggressively. And I think I'll send save those guys for later. Send these guys down over with wands. And I'll leave them in base. And these guys can go join Warren up here. Now, if at any time in the game your opinion leader is defeated at all, the game ends. So watch for that. Okay, this is actually fairly important here. Because this will determine what terrain you'll fight on whenever you encounter the enemy. Another thing that's important to remember right there. No, that won't be for a long time yet. Yay, hooray, and all that. Pull a card, and we get the Hierophant card. Excellent. I lined up my 2 points. Although that's not actually that good for Warren, but we'll deal with that later. Yes, remember that deploying units costs money, so be very careful about that. Yeah, if you click on the town, it'll tell you whether or not there's a shop there at the very bottom, as you can see. Okay, folks, I actually kind of lost track of my time, embarrassingly enough, so I'm actually just going to stop the video and make a note of my time. So, I'll be back. And we're back, everybody. I got about a minute and a half, so... Oh, whoops. I'm going to send this High Sky unit over here. Because there's actually a hidden temple up here, which will give us a pretty important item later on. And here comes the enemy parade. Now, at the start of the game, you won't see a whole lot of very full-looking units. But later on, they'll take the kid gloves off, so be careful. Find out. And what did I tell you? There's a temple right there. Alright, folks, here's our first real battle. Now, in order to focus on eliminating the enemy units, we actually want to, each individual enemy character, we want to focus on the guy with the lowest hit points, so we'll just choose the weak strategy here. Ow! Annoying little prick. Oops. Sorry, I keep hitting the wrong button. Okay, let's just gonna speed this up a little bit here, folks. God, I love frame skip. And we'll stop right here, folks, because we're just about out of time. I'd like to thank you all for watching, and in the next part, we'll keep on kicking the shit out of these guys. So until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out, everybody, and have a good day.